to brighten up the space.
Yes, yes.
And when it's the centerpiece that you have on the coffee table, now how do you choose what really blends with the theme that you have in mind? Because there are so many different pieces that you can choose from when you go to a shop or you go to a store and you try to choose something that suits your house. But how did you come up with this centerpiece?
These three pieces, I would say, again, it complements the space. It's very important to think about the space as a whole, not just if you go into a shop, say, oh, it's really pretty, I need this in my house. But you must always wonder, where would it go? Would it go with the rest of the pieces I already have?
Yeah.
That is a key factor in buying ornaments, I would say.
Definitely. And we have the blinds that are here behind us. So let's speak about these as well.
Again, I mean, we've used these blinds some in other places of the house as well, again in a different color. Again, very neutral, it blends the background, but it serves the purpose as well. If you want the light to come in, lift it up and you have so much natural light.
Very heavy drapes that were here earlier.
Yes.
This makes a big difference, it really does. I think the entire room is brightened up because of these.
At the moment, we are taking everything out, so I will be working with a blank canvas. So what I have planned on doing was making a feature wall so that we add a splash of color into that room, because we have decided on a general theme and it's going to be very simple. So because of that, we need to add that splash of color into a room. So in general, that's what we are planning to do. We will be taking everything out and we will be adding more minimalistic furniture into a room, and with that we can't leave it like that because we need something like eye-catching, a focal point, stuff like that. So we thought of putting splashes of color through furniture.
I can hear them grinding and all kinds of sounds I can hear. I can see them taking the furniture out, and I really don't know what to expect actually.
So we decided to go with, we'll start with the bedroom. We went with a timber floor finish. And we brought in a lot of light furniture. Again, it's good teak furniture. Which was again very light, it gives a very light feel, and we introduced what we call a feature wall, where we used wallpaper, which has a very subtle but bright texture to it. As you can see, this is the method of getting rid of all the air bubbles by using a palette knife of this sort. You go from top right to the bottom, getting rid of every single air bubble, otherwise when it dries it will show very clearly and that would look quite ugly, especially under a specific type of light. You even it out at the bottom and you cut it off the excess amount. So it's always better to start right from the top and take it down, because the detail at the bottom you see very little, so the exposed area is what you see more.
See, as a designer, we have to oversee what is there, and I see that there is great potential for this house, and I think as a team we are going to do a great job, and the before and after is going to be great. It's going to be awesome.
We brought in some color again, because it's a bedroom, it needs some you need a bit of color in there. So to brighten up this place, we brought in some candles to create some intimacy. We brought in some beautiful lampshades to brighten up the place, and a really nice pendant light.
So with that, I would like to stop because I don't want to give away. I like to have an element of surprise.
Okay, so Amaya, are you ready to have a look at the bedroom?
I'm dying to see the
Okay,
bedroom.
let's walk in. After you.
Do you remember the first time we walked into this room?
Yes. Do you see a difference?
Yeah, I would say I see a bit of a difference. No, actually, it's a huge difference. Wow, I can't believe it's the same room. I mean, I've seen it as a work in progress, but this is amazing. All right, so where would you like to start? I think we should start with what we're walking on right
Shall
now.
we start with the floor then?
Yes, all right.
Okay, so as you can see, the ugly floor is being replaced by a beautiful timber floor.
I don't know how you did this within a day.
It's very easy actually. It's called an interlocking system. So laying of this floor is quite simple and very straightforward, and it's a quick thing that you can do in a couple of hours, which makes a dramatic difference to a space.
And this is the wall that you were speaking of earlier.
Yes, this is the feature wall that Ashwin and our design team came up with. So as you can see, there are two colors to this wallpaper and a pattern. Now if you look close to the pattern, it's quite heavy, but from far away it's very subtle, and it gives a bit of life to this room.
Definitely, it does add a lot of, I mean, the texture difference itself.
Absolutely. Texture difference, it's very, very important.
And we have to talk about this bed. The bed that was there earlier in the room was just something that was plonked in the middle of the room.
It seemed like the master bed. In the master bed, you need a proper bed. And
Definitely.
for this type of space, which is quite a small master bedroom, you could fit in a good size queen size bed. So with some really subtle, like a bedspread, and if you use really light colors, so you want everything to kind of blend into the walls. And you introduce a bit of color like the way we've done over here. With
Yeah, and I think we
red.
should talk about the color palette that you've used.
Absolutely,
Now that we've come to the bed,
absolutely.
we can speak of that.
So we go with the whites and the timber stains, which again are very light. And if you look at the timber that we've used here, they're actually the same color.
And what type of timber is this?
This is teak.
Wow.
Yes, it is teak. And if you can see, there are beautiful grains, which they're beautifully preserved. And it has the same effect on the wardrobe, so does the side table. So there is a balance everywhere. And we have introduced a bit of color, as you can see, especially with the pillows and things like that, which you can actually, in your own time, introduce something else. I mean,
Oh, I see.
yes, so I mean, if you want, say, a red in here, you could still do that. And if
Definitely.
you keep the same color palette, in the sense, now we have this fan, which we
The fan!
painted pink.
Yes.
So you need to pick, if you're going to change the color features in here, you need to stick to the warmer colors, because it will again blend in with everything else. Now if you introduce, say, a cooler color, it could be too much of a contrast.
I see.
But
Alright.
do you see, yeah, exactly, so that's what I'm trying to get across here.
So you've used the light colors as a base, and then to build on that, you've got these warm pink tones everywhere.
Absolutely, yes, that's what we've done here.
And it's beautiful. And the fan, I'm really impressed with. I never thought you could actually blend the fan into what you were trying to do. But we have to speak about this shade as well. This is,
Yes, yes.
it looks like a piece of art here on the side table.
Well, that is what you want, isn't it? With the piece of furniture. If you can turn it into a piece of art, that's just, I mean, that's all you need to say about it. As you can see, this beautiful side table, again, it's teak, and we have this nice lampshade with made out of driftwood. And again, the lampshade itself, it's a beige, it's very subtle, and it just does the job right here.
Definitely. So it just blends in and adds a bit of a rustic touch as well, doesn't
yes,
it?
exactly. I mean, you're using two different types of timber here, as you can see, which is the very rustic one, and again, very polished and very simple, very neutral colors.
Yeah.
That's, I think, the
Gives
best
you
way
a
to
classy
explain
look.
it.
And also, I'm guessing this is teak as well.
It is
The wardrobe.
Um,
Remember the pieces that were here earlier? There were
So,
4 different types of
four
storage, I
different
think.
types, and we got rid of all of them, and we introduced one piece, which I think does the job for 2 people. There's plenty of storage space in here, and yes, I think it's very light. I mean, even for anything you want to store in here, there's quite a bit of storage space.
How do I open this way?
Well, why don't you try pressing this?
All right.
There you go. That's
Very
how you open it.
ingenious. Oh, wow. And I can see myself doing this a few times each day just for the fun of it. But
Well-
this is a really great feature, isn't it?
It is, simply because, especially for a space like this, it's quite narrow, and when you go past it, your clothes tend to get caught. So when it's like this, you can just lock it back up again, and then it's completely flushed to the door, which I think it's a great feature.
Exactly. So design is not just about looking good, it's about practicality as well.
Absolutely.
And making sure that you have the correct feature for the space.
For the correct space, yes.
I like that a lot. All right, maybe I should get some of those installed into my wardrobe because I keep snagging my blouses on those. Okay, so now we've spoken about the wardrobe. I think we have to go on to the accessories on the other side of the room, one of my favorite features.
Absolutely.
This lovely addition, I love it. I'm a girl, I just love this chair. If I could steal it and take it home, I would.
Well, it is. It's a feature. I think it's probably the feature in this bedroom because it is so bright. Even though it's really bright, it adds so much color and so much life into a bedroom. And I mean, it's a reading chair. You can lounge in and watch TV, whatever you like. But it's quite an interesting piece to have in the
And
bedroom.
you've incorporated it into this small space. So, I mean, you've given the bed and the wardrobe space, the storage space, as well as a little area
Little
to
area
lounge
for you
in.
to lounge, exactly, to relax. And you know, a bedroom shouldn't just be the bed. You need another little tiny space just to make it your own. So I think
Definitely.
this chair really does the job.
I love it. I love this chair. And the blinds, we have to, remember the windows that were here earlier? I'm so glad that we've got these blinds.
It's something very neutral. The colors we've chosen, it's very neutral and it blends in with everything else without, you know, it being too much like in
Definitely.
your face. So that's exactly what you would want with curtains or blinds in whichever scenario you.
And another very small feature that I've noticed are the candles that you've placed up there.
Yes,
Look at those.
I mean, we wanted to kind of highlight those luvas, which is quite a nice little feature in this house. It's quite around as well. And the 3 candles we picked, a candle always makes a place more intimate, and it's a bedroom, you want that feeling, the warmth a candlelight brings in, it's amazing. Can't match
Definitely.
to any kind of fluorescent light.
I think the vibe of this bedroom is amazing. And if you could sum it up in one word, what would you say this bedroom is like?
I think I would call it a minimalistic space. Very little that we've used here in terms of colors and textures. The timber we've used, I mean, in so many different ways, but it complements each other.
Definitely, and it all works together to create an
Absolutely.
amazing bedroom that I would be very happy. This was my bedroom, but
I'm
compared
glad.
to what it was before, this is amazing what you've done with it, and I can't even recognize the space. And I'm sure that our viewers can't wait to see the other areas as well. So why don't we head on over to the dining room and see what the design team have done over there? Okay.
Moving on to the dining room, again we kept it very simple, a bit more neutral actually than most of the other spaces. Again highlighting certain features like introducing ornaments in the right places, getting rid of the glass cabinets actually made quite a big difference in there.
told me that I can come and see what they have done, I just am all excited. I really want to know what has been taking place. I've heard all this noise that's going on, and I just hope I like it because I've got to live with it.
We are here in the dining room area. Wow, what a big difference. Okay, so there was a lot of timber furniture with different stains, and all the cabinets that were here, they're all gone. It looks like a completely different space now.
Yes.
But, and these chairs, now I need to ask you, you've got chairs with two different colors on the same table.
Yes, we have. I mean, that is a way you can actually introduce color into a space. It's the same type of chair, but it's in a different color. Again, adding some color and some, light.
And it's fun, isn't it?
It is fun.
I would never, because it's very traditional to have chairs of the same color, so I would never think of that, but that's a really nice touch. And the centerpiece here, a lovely blue color. And let's talk about this. Why did you choose this particular centerpiece?
Well, again, it balances off. I mean, if you look at the texture of the ornament over here, and then the table and the floor, it is the same thing but in different shades. So again, you're not breaking away from it too much. What is already existing, you're just complementing it.
And I really love the detail of what you put in the center here.
It is. If you look closely, it's actually really, really detailed. But from afar away, it's not so loud that it shouts attention.
Pulls everything together. And now we have one little cupboard here that's replacing all the bulky furniture that was here. Let's speak about this. This looks like a beautiful frame just here with the louver as well.
Absolutely. And if you can, I mean, the picture frames we spoke of earlier. So, I mean, this is a very simple thing you could do to brighten up the picture frames and to make it match with the rest of the pieces you have.
And the blinds you've used here again,
it's the same thing as the living room, the same color, but the ones we use in the bedroom, actually, you'll see later on, it's different.
And is that a better option to use rather than using curtains to use blinds in a house?
No, actually, it really depends on the space itself. Some spaces, curtains are the perfect fit. And this space, I think blinds were a better fit.
Definitely. It looks beautiful. And the painting that's here, you suddenly have something that really catches your eye as soon as you walk into the space.
You would need a piece like this. I mean, just one simple piece with some color in it, which lightens up everything.
Moving on to the other side of the room, now we're going from all these greyish, bluish tones, and you have this timber table, that side table that's here. Let's speak about this. What's the idea behind this?
Well, we got rid of the glass cabinet that's here, and we have a simple table over here where you can actually display the glasses, you have the china, you have, I mean, you can actually, without locking away in a glass cabinet or in something, you can actually display it and make it as a feature. And we decided to use the red to kind of bring in some of the living room features, which was the red in the living room. So because it's an open space, it's important to show that connection.
And also the light fittings that are brand new that are in this room.